A humble human Maid rescued the wounded alien emperor, never realizing her act of kindness was being broadcast across the entire galaxy beginning, the night of falling stars. The night skies over Erinder, 3 were alive with fire. To most of the colony's inhabitants, it looked like a meteor shower. Streaks of light tearing across the dark heavens, setting the horizon aglow. But to Leora Vance, the quiet maid who worked in the governor's palace, the light felt different. It pulsed, rhythmic and strange, as if calling to her heart. She was sweeping the marble courtyard when one of those streaks veered off course, plunging toward the nearby forest. The explosion shook the ground, rattling the chandeliers inside the palace. Guards rushed to their stations, scanners lighting up with warnings of unidentified energy signatures. But Leora, driven by something she couldn't name, slipped out through the servants' gate. The forest was burning when she reached it. Smoke curled through the night air, the smell of ionized metal stinging her lungs. She pushed through the wreckage, and there, amid twisted silver metal, lay a figure. He wasn't human. The man, if one could call him that, was tall, broad-shouldered, his skin faintly luminescent with a soft sapphire glow. His armor shimmered in broken pieces, carved with symbols that seemed alive. A crown-like circlet hung cracked upon his brow. His chest rose shallowly, blood, or something like it, glistening dark and metallic. Leora froze. She had seen images of his kind before, in forbidden broadcasts, in whispered rumors. The Zytherians, rulers of half the known galaxy, warriors said to live for centuries. Their emperor, Kalen Vallis, was the most feared and revered among them. And now he was dying at her feet. Leora knelt beside him, trembling. His eyes flickered open, radiant silver. For a moment, she thought they reflected the stars, until she realized they were the stars, swirling and alive. "Don't be afraid," he whispered, his voice like distant thunder. She swallowed hard. "You're hurt." His lips curved faintly. "You are human." He coughed, blood staining his armor. Without thinking, Leora tore off her scarf and pressed it against his wound. His hand gripped hers, strong, despite his weakness. The contact sent a rush of warmth through her, an electric pulse that seemed to travel straight to her heart. "Why help me?" he rasped. "Because you're dying," she said simply. "And I can't stand by." If she had looked up then, she might have seen it. The small drone hovering high above the forest, its lens glinting red as it streamed everything live to 1,000 systems across the galaxy. Middle, the Emperor and the Maid. It took all of Leora's strength to drag him into an abandoned storage cabin deep within the forest. She tended to his wounds using old medical kits scavenged from the colony's ruins, her trembling hands guided by instinct and care. Days passed in secret. She learned his name only after his fever broke. Kalen Vallis, Emperor of the Zytherian Dominion, wounded in an ambush by his own council, betrayed in a bid for his throne. His escape pod had crashed on Erinder 3, a planet thought too primitive for anyone to notice. Except one human Maid had noticed. "You should have left me," he told her on the second night, his voice rough but steadier. "If my enemies learn you aided me, they will burn this world." Leora shook her head. "You think I helped you because I wanted a reward? I did it because it was right." Kalen studied her, his expression unreadable, a mix of awe and confusion. "In my world, such kindness is a myth." "Then your world must be very lonely," she murmured. Their conversations grew longer each day. He told her of the stars, of empires and wars fought over light years. She told him of her childhood, of cleaning marble halls while dreaming of skies she'd never touch. Sometimes, she caught him watching her, not as a servant, not as a lesser being, but with quiet wonder. One night, when she replaced the dressing on his wound, his hand brushed hers. The touch was brief, but it lingered. Her heart raced. "You should rest," she whispered. He didn't move. "You risked your life for me, Leora Vance. Tell me why." Her gaze met his. "Because I saw someone who needed help. Not an emperor, not a god, just someone." Kalen's expression softened. For the first time, his immortal composure cracked. "You speak as if mercy were simple. Maybe it is." Outside, the storm of meteors returned, flashes of blue light crossing the skies. Neither of them knew that every word, every glance, every touch was being watched across the galaxy. The surveillance drone had locked onto his energy signature, and millions of beings, human and alien alike, were now witnessing their strange companionship unfold in real time. On distant worlds, commentators speculated, soldiers wept, and rebels whispered, "The Emperor lives." And beside him, a human woman. The discovery. On the seventh day, the forest trembled with the sound of approaching ships. Kalen's eyes snapped open. "They've found me." Leora's heart pounded. "Who? My generals or my assassins? I do not know which." He rose, still weak, but towering. "You must hide." "No," she said fiercely. "If they see me, I'll tell them you're alive and need help." He seized her shoulders, eyes burning silver. "Leora, if they know you touched me, they will kill you." Before she could reply, the cabin door burst open. A squad of Zytherian elites stormed in, their armor glinting under the dim light. Weapons raised, they froze when they saw Kalen standing beside a human woman. Their commander, a tall female warrior, dropped to one knee. "My emperor," she said reverently. "The Dominion believed you dead." Kalen nodded slowly. "And yet I live, thanks to her." All eyes turned to Leora. She lowered her gaze, unsure whether to bow or run. The commander's eyes flickered with something like disgust. "A human." Kalen's tone cut like steel. "She saved me when no one else did. Remember that." There was silence, thick and tense. Then, outside the cabin, hundreds of HoloLenses glowed to life. The Zytherian fleet was broadcasting the Emperor's return to the galaxy. And in the center of the feed, clear as day, stood the maid who had healed him, her simple hands stained with his silver blood. Kalen looked to the sky, realizing what had happened. "It's live," he murmured. "Every system is watching." Leora's face went pale. They'll know." "Yes," he said softly. "They'll know you saved me." The bond of two worlds. Back aboard the Imperial flagship, the corridors gleamed with crystalline walls and celestial light. Leora followed the Emperor in silence, feeling impossibly out of place among soldiers and nobles who stared as if she were a ghost. Kalen had ordered she remain by his side, under Imperial protection. But protection felt a lot like captivity. She was summoned to the throne chamber days later. Kalen sat upon the obsidian dais, healed and dressed in full regalia, a vision of divine authority. Yet when his gaze met hers, it softened. "You're angry," he said quietly when they were alone. "I'm scared," she admitted. "Your people hate me. They think I defiled their god." He rose, stepping closer. "You touched me when I was broken. You saw a man, not a throne. They may hate you for it, but I